I wasn't gonna come back in. I was outside doing some stuff, right? And I'm in an RV park, as you all know, obviously. So I was out there doing a live, and I was really trying to not let it bother me. Like I really didn't want it to bother me. You know what I mean? What happened? Hold on. I need to hold on a second. I need to mute this side. Hold on. Let me just pull this over for a second. For a moment. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. Um, anyway, so I'm over there. I've got the comments going so you guys can comment. So I'm outside and I'm doing my live, and there's like, I don't know why they parked us here, but like this RV park, they park, they tell you where to park, right? So it's like a whole big thing now. And so there we are, and we're like up this person's butt, like right next door. I mean, like my awning, which I can't not have out, because if you don't have the awning out, it's like so hot in here. Like it's unlivable inside when it's really, really hot. So I was like, no, I have to put the awning out, and it kind of like shaded their portion of their slide out, which, right, okay, like I wouldn't care. Like I just shut my blinds. Like I wouldn't care. And maybe they don't care either. Anyway, so we've been literally like there, right next to them, like since we got here on the 4th. 5 days. Seems like a lot longer, actually. It really does. But so yeah, 5 days. We've been here 5 days, and yeah, we haven't even been here a full week. So I'm out there and I'm doing my live, and they closed their bathroom window, which is so odd because it's like, you know what I mean? They, like, so it goes, it's just like lowering down, and I'm out there doing live, and it caught my attention. And then I was like, oh, and so then I was like trying not to let it bother me, that they were like obviously didn't want to hear me, which is funny because like literally in my trailer, no one can hear me. I can talk like just like this, and Shawnee never hears me. Zachary doesn't communicate like normal people. He communicates just not normally, so he doesn't have to hear me. Um, and like literally, I have to scream at the other side of the trailer. Now, I don't know if that's just because we have a fan, because we have a fan in our bathroom that like sucks air out, so it creates a fresh air flow, right? And then the AC pulls it in, and then the bathroom, it sucks it out. But it also means that I don't get a lot of heat in my room, or a lot of cold in my room anyway. So I was like, just try not to let it bother me, but it totally bothered me. Like I was like, oh, and I don't know why I took offense. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm loud. Oh, maybe they were trying to sleep. It's still friggin', it's 10 o'clock. Maybe not the world. Maybe the world does not also wake up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Because it is 9 o'clock in the morning, but it is past after hour. Like it's not quiet time. So, I'm not breaking any rules or anything by being out there. And I really enjoy doing that. And so now I'm kind of just battling with that no, the knowing of that, like that I know that I'm bothering them, and but I want to still continue to live in my most authentic self, and get a repetition, come out, come see you guys, do videos outside, like I use my laptop today for my workout. And it was kind of weird because it just today was such an off day. And I'm kind of it dawned on me as I was coming inside that I'm wondering if this isn't because I didn't have my Reishi gummies, my daily, my Ari dailies. You know what I mean? I had only one gummy left yesterday, so I had it. Like, I mean, but I can feel like it's life's a struggle. It's almost like I feel like I'm moving through mud all the time. You know what I mean? And that's how I felt before. And it's a low, it's manic, it's bipolar, but like since I've been taking those gummies, it's like it doesn't last as long, right? And it's not as intense. So I can rebound a little bit better from it. You know, things don't bother me as much. And that just really torqued me. It's freaking just torqued me. And and I'm sure they're over there, you know, because it's like you can quietly bring your thing down. And literally they were like, and they went click. You know what I mean? Like, it just came down very quickly, and I was just like, "Oh, wow, I didn't even know those windows could do that." Like, I was just like, "Oh my god." Uh, sorry, I'm emailing. I have a friend of mine. We were just trying to like, somebody was put on my heart earlier, so I reached out to a friend of mine and was like, "Hey, have you seen so and so?" Actually, they weren't put in my heart. They were literally put like and my because I'm doing messages now because of my photos. They were put. They're in my their little bubble faces on my Facebook open right now. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen them in a while." And then I like the last time I talked to them, they were like in the mountains in Colorado or something somewhere, but doing good, you know. And I was just like, "Oh my!" And you, I hate addiction, I really do. I get it, you know. I get the not wanting to deal with life. I get the not wanting to deal with all the emotions and all the feelings and all the things and all the people. Like, I understand not wanting to deal with that, but you have to at some point deal with that, right? Like, if you want any kind of life in your life or peace in your life, I should say. Hey, Clarence, how are you? I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. I'm having a bipolar low today. So I'm struggling, but so I'm just keeping my mind busy with you guys actually because I can really get in there and tear it up, you know. I'm glad you're doing great. That is awesome. Where are you coming in from today, Clarence? I mean, other than YouTube. Like, we know you're coming from YouTube. Like, in the world, where are you coming from? Because you're working. Nice. Well, right on, man. I mean, jobs are hard sometimes. Not as hard as they used to be, you know, um, since like literally cutting our workforce population in half. But, you know, I've never been there. That is cool. I mean, where's it? Yeah, I don't want to get all personal with like we're out here in public, you know. I'm all like asking you all your business. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. I don't want you to feel like you have to put any more of your private information out there unless you want to. I'm open. I All my pages are public, so you know how I roll. Like, I don't really care who listens to my business, but my mom always used to get mad at me for that. She'd be like, "Do you really have to be telling everybody our business? Like, it's not everybody's business." I just be like, "What? If you're embarrassed or ashamed about that, then you shouldn't do it." Like, I was I was that kid. California. I'm from California, Northern California. Currently, I'm a full-time RVer, so I'm not really from. I'm from the Central Coast, Pismo Beach, San Luis Obispo area. I was raised my entire life, just about. I was actually born in Fresno, California, because of the Children's Hospital, because I was born too early and I almost died. I was like 2 pounds or something. Yeah. So I was born there, but we lived here, like we lived in the Central Coast, and then I've just full time up and down wherever with my severely autistic kiddo and his dad, who, we're not. We just realized that it takes two people to raise a severely autistic kiddo, and I need all the help I can get in life in general. So I was not mad about it because I'm not working. I'm trying to bring in my own monies on my own accords, and things like that. And I was working for like 4 years. I just stopped fairly recently, like 5 or 6 months ago, to, um, you know, live live life a little bit. Because I picked the full time lifestyle because it's extremely cheap. So, you know what I mean? Um, it's easier to save money sometimes, but then sometimes you're literally turning around it. Like I save money to spend it later, but I'm always happy when I have the money to put into whatever it is I need. Like it could be RV repairs, it could be I need to get the take. Like I had a girlfriend of mine who was going to do the air shocks in my truck for me, but then I realized that I think I need my rotors and brakes and like a lot of a lot of stuff that's just a lot of work for somebody to do hand on hand. It's like they will take it in, let them do it, and then I can sue them if they get it wrong. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Seems like a seems like a good thing. I don't know. It seems like it could work. It could work. Mm. But yeah, the struggle is definitely real in my reality. So I had somebody the other. I want to talk about me. Like I totally fully understand that people are on here on the internet to find people. Like right, they're out here to find the loves of their lives or relationships or what. I'm out here trying to just keep track of everybody, and let everybody know what I'm doing, right? So, and earning a little living and sharing my dreams and passions and raising money for cancer isn't bad. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. And I'm really hoping that this new like this new adventure brings forth traveling opportunities, which I'm sure it will. How could it not? Photography, you travel wherever you want, um, for Zachary to see, because the cool thing about my pictures is almost now I know there are a few that I was on by myself when I took them because Zachary's always in motion. So we always have to be in motion. I get a lot of my pictures in motion while I'm moving, while I'm driving with my hand sticking out the window. You know what I mean? Like just catching the right time, like, oh, right timing, Um, I was really good at lining up the stars in Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers. Um, um, anyhow, but the cool thing about it is if you go and check out any of my photography, my son has seen most of those views too. So they're epic views that he got to see right next to me in the truck. Whether he appreciated it or not, he's 15. What 15-year-old appreciates art? I mean, unless you're like strung out on something, then yeah, the colors are great. You know? No, I'm just kidding. I know a lot of intuitive um teenagers, my friends' kids that are just very, because their parents are very open minded and outgoing, so they're very open minded. You know what I mean? Like we're starting to breed a different kind of people now. I'm noticing like the younger generation is like. I have like a friend. Now, this is going to sound weird, but it's not because we worked together first, right? So I have a friend named Dylan. He is the sweetest kid, right? But apparently massive rage issues. He's not even 22 yet, barely just 21. Same kind of upgrade, bringing as many of us have had, ACA, the whole nine. Um, and is the best human being, almost like the best. I mean, maybe there's like a saint, probably maybe would be better, but he is solid dude, right? Going to school, doing his thing, working, bought his first car, like has a really, really good girl, got things going for him. And he told me, he's like, yeah, he goes, well, I learned all this at 15. So like, could you imagine having to be mentally capable enough to work something like what we work out at midlife at 15? And what kind of chaos you must have had to endure to be that desperate at 15 to be looking for solutions already to your to your inside mind problems. Like, wow, but I'm noticing that. Well, it's in Northern California. I don't, it might probably psilocybin related, because we're in Northern California. So, again, a plus on that aspect. We're raising over here in Northern California, there are more enlightened human beings at earlier ages out here, which is really nice to see, because then it inspires me to do likewise, and it's like, well, shoot, if you can do it, I can do it. Or I don't know how many times my favorite, one of my bracelets broke, right? Whenever that happens, but it's beaded. So now it's like I want to make something else, like cleanse it. I got to do some rituals tonight. Some, not rituals. That sounds bad. Some charging. I had to put my crystals out so they can dance with the moon's energy tonight. And I will probably put these guys out because 9 times. So what they always say, like, and it is kind of, and all the, oh my gosh. Oh, that because they all fell out. That's why. They're all over my bed. I was like, where did they go? They ran away to start a new life. Oh my gosh, that's the best. Hold on. I just am selfishly so, catching this picture real quick. So I was gifted this camera, and right, it's super cute. It looks like one of the old timey cameras. The cool thing about the lighting in here is that image isn't going anywhere, but it's so cool. So you push this little button, $50 camera, right? Wait till you guys see the pictures that it presents, though. Like, seriously. But you can't. Let me see. Did you get it? I'm not sure. Well, kind of. It also doesn't have any flash. So, you know what I mean? It's great for outside. I got an amazing flag photo. It also has filters. It turns things like old timey brown-ish. So like great for period pieces if you're doing that. I just think it's super cute. And I want to use it for like while I'm set, like walking photos, not in motion photos, right? You know what I mean? And I usually use this camera for that. Just saying. I'm trying to get this picture over here on my door. Hold on. Because it's so cool. I don't know. It's speaking to me. But I can't. There it is. Okay, hold on. I need to take the brightness or the auto off. What the heck is going on here? Don't know. Some auto feature here, probably. That one came out pretty cool. Sorry, guys. I'm going through a process, but I want my flash to, Hold on. I'm going to turn it off and then turn back on. Because I don't want to flash. Like, I'm trying to catch the specific. Okay, what's happening here? Auto mode. What's Wi-Fi mode? Let's see. Underwater mode. I just learned a whole new. Let's try scene mode. Here we go. That's usually the mode I'm. White? It's not. Ooh, sort of. It's still not dark enough. It's very cool. It's like the realm into a different world, you know? Not really. Anyway, oh my gosh. So yeah, anyway, I'm trying to like get over this lady's. Let's see. We don't want action shots. Oh, I'm gonna try using the action filter. I don't usually do filters very much. Yeah, maybe. Suggest tripod. I'm not using a tripod. Yeah, that didn't work at all. You. Don't, yeah, off. Okay. I literally never read any directions. Ah, beautiful. Okay, finally. See, it takes like a few times sometimes to get the shot you want. That is literally what I do. I'm like, oh, look at that. That's so cool. And then check this out. Well, you might appreciate this. I appreciate looking at it. I might be able to show you. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be something you can see. You probably can't see from there, but anyway, yeah. I have a crystal and the light's fracturing through the crystal onto the thing, and it looks like water drops. Very cool. So, anywho, um, yeah. So just trying to not get bothered, not feel like a piece of poop. Um, I don't know. It's just really hard today. I'm gonna probably go on TikTok here in a little bit too and pull some cards. I just wanted to come in and share that with you because I didn't know if you guys noticed how abruptly I ended. For those of you on YouTube, you obviously did not. That's on Facebook. So, but um, but if you were on Facebook and you were watching, you might have noticed that I like something caught my eye and I just kind of stared. And then I really wanted to be like, oh, that's bothering me. Why is that bothering me? And I still don't know why it's bothering me. Like, I don't know why it's getting to me, but it is. Like, I'm acknowledging that it's getting to me. That it makes me feel like I can't go out there and do that anymore. And that's not true. You know what I mean? Like, at all. Like, I'm usually quieter though too, and like, but I'm still, and they're not usually here, so they're probably off work today. So I'll also try to be a little bit more mindful of that. If like I'll maybe start to look for their car, and just maybe I go to the gym because I like to work out outside. I like working out under the trees when I'm in the trees, of course, but I don't have to be talking and doing it. I can do yoga silently or somewhat silently. You know what I mean? And I should probably just stick to making videos like I have been in here and in the car because they obviously did not appreciate that. I mean, that's their own problem because I was speaking real truths about loving yourself. And if you don't love yourself, then maybe you don't want to hear that. And that's okay too, because not everybody's going to be where you're at in life. Not everybody's going to be ready to see what they need to see and hear what they need to hear and make those actions. Like I had so many times in life, freaking done that, you know. I like kind of lost my train of thought, but not at the same time. Anyway, oh no, but yeah. So I mean, I don't want to be an ass, and they're obvious they are, full timers. Now it isn't my fault that they had the day off today, and I can put some headphones on if I'm hearing things from outside that I don't appreciate, and I'll put some hurt sounds on. And there's things that you can do, i.e., shut the window. You know what I mean? Like for sure. Or maybe they were taking. You know what I mean? I don't want to be hearing nobody when I'm taking either. So I understand that. So that's possible. Spirit's guiding me like of all the possibilities here. You know what I mean? As I'm shuffling. Yeah, that's true though. They could have been pooping. I wouldn't want to listen to that when I was pooping. So maybe they were pooping and it had nothing to do with me. Everything doesn't have to do with me. Maybe I just feel like it does because the way I was raised and fawned over and groomed over growing up. Made me really not want to have any attention at all, except for like the worst kind, not the worst. What was the worst for me? What's the worst for me? Like every relationship I ever had that was with a guy was bad. And that's every relationship I ever had. So, sometimes it's just time to wake up. It's time to be like, yeah, 100%. Like, I might cry a little bit, but, like, wow. It is kind of sad to think that I haven't yet had a really good relationship, but I have really great friendships and I have really great relationships in other areas. So it's kind of like maybe my love life sucks, but like I got some solid people in my life that um pe- people I don't know sometimes. Like if I know, like I have a friend who um owns a towing business. So he tows, right, for a living. He also has kidney failure. And so, um, and I've hit him up when like I didn't want to tow my trailer on the truck, like when I just felt like, no, it's not a good time to do that this time. And then I usually go get the truck worked on. And oh, lo and behold, the rotors were bad, the shocks were bad, whatever. The brakes. I definitely know the brakes need to be done. I definitely know the shocks need to be done. What I need, so help me out, people, okay? Like if you are in the like um between Cloverdale and um I can't forget Petaluma. You know what I mean? Like straight up, and of somebody who does shocks, tires, brakes, the whole nine, and can put in air shocks and do all the other works, please let me know. Then it doesn't cost an arm and a freaking leg. And also, if anybody who is willing to let me bring the truck in, have them make a list, have them order said list, but not leave me without a truck, and then I can come back when all the parts come in and then hit and then go without a truck for maybe like a day or two instead of like 7 days, which is what happened the last time I had to get the truck done. And I'm not, nah, I'm not really, I mean, actually, they were done in 5. So that's not super bad for all the work that they had to put in. But I don't want, and then I had to put out like $500-600 for a rental car that we needed for like that time. And I really thought I was going to get more money back on that because we only rented it half the time and I didn't get anything back. Nothing. They charged me $500 for, I rented it for 2 weeks and only used it for 5 days and did not get any reimbursement back, like deposit reimbursement or anything. And man, I literally only used it like, I mean, Zachary and I were the only ones in it. And we were very careful, and we didn't have food or anything in there. No dogs, no nothing, no cigarettes, no. I even picked up all the garbage. I would have liked to have cleaned it out. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I guess, same. Let's see. Ooh. Sometimes life stings. First time I've ever drawn that card. And it's a warning. And yeah, absolutely freaking right. Sometimes life does stink or sting. Sometimes it stinks too. You know what I mean? Sometimes it stinks too. But yes, sometimes it does. Sometimes it stings. Yeah. But I always learned that, like, in the moments when it does sting and it hurts and you push through and you make it through and you learn your lessons and you grow in the areas that you're meant to grow in, you know what I mean? Your life changes miraculously. I was trying to explain this to Shawnee before we got into recovery the first time, or before we got into recovery, into going to meetings and into me doing. I was like, I warn you, like, I'm going to feel way better about myself because this is how it rolls, and I'm not going to want to put up with your, and I'm not going to when I am healed, like, because I knew that about myself because I'd been in recovery before. So I knew exactly where I was going. I knew where that, and I appreciated that. So for any retreads out there, you know what I mean? I appreciated knowing where to go when I was ready. You know what I mean? When I couldn't repeat another child being taken from me because of my bad choices that I was still making since the first one got taken from, I had like literally, like, from 19 to 23 was nothing but drugs and pain and tears and betrayal and lies and not even for me. I'm pretty honest about stuff. Like, yeah, yeah, like, I mean, no, I wouldn't go tell my mom, no, I'm gonna go get loaded, but we knew, I knew, she knew, and she was always sad, and for a good reason, because she loved me and she didn't want me to die with a heart condition and massive social anxiety already, which I didn't really have that. It's weird. I want to try to say something to you guys about it too, because here's the thing. Dream the world into being, right? Well, we kind of do, right? We have our goals, we have our desires, we have our dreams, and we're like, this is what's going to happen. And then sometimes it does happen, sometimes it doesn't happen. But I remember when I was a kid, I used to play soccer. And I don't know, it must have been a pretty important game or something, but I won the goal or whatever. I kicked the goal. I was like my first year in soccer. I ran down the field, kicked the goal, like no big deal. And everyone freaked out. Like they were super stoked. They were super happy, but they freaked out. Right. And then that scared me. And then I ran to my mom crying because I didn't understand why everybody was yelling. Like I was just like, I just kicked the goal. And she was like, you won the game. And I'm like, I had no idea. No idea like how important that moment was. So it scared me when everybody reacted that way. And that literally caused me to be less than afterward, after all of that. I figured that out right now with you guys. No, I figured it out like a few days ago. Yeah. Be generous of spirit, lion spirit. And these are all reversed. So we're going to be reading the book to see the details for sure because I need to know. I need a little positive vibe going on and I need it. I need it. So I'm going to do it. Okay. So we're reading the book. If I can find the book. Oh my gosh. No. It's right here. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So we have 64. And it's the protection message. Okay. It says, are you holding on to anger, jealousy, or resentment because you got stung? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Absolutely. Or could you have just stung yourself by comparing yourself to others? Yes, I did that as well. There will always be someone else who is more successful, happier, thinner, richer, etc. The list goes on, does it not? Jealousy is the false belief that you can't have what you want or someone could take away something. Probably gonna say that was never yours to begin with, right? Oh, that was supposed to be yours or that you deemed as yours in your head, right? Relational, kid stuff, divorces. A lot of people are going through it right now. Let it go and release all those feelings that are making the sting hurt long after the stinger has been removed. Slap some mud on it. Get it wet and slap some mud on it. Okay? Wasp spirit has woken you up, and now you are called to trust that disappointment can lead you to a different and better path. What were we just talking about? What were we just talking about? Align with spirit now and trust this too shall pass and is already doing so. It's already, I can feel it. It's already on its way out. Oh, align with spirit now and trust that this too shall pass and is already doing so. For the pain subsides when you stop telling the story how much it hurt. Woo! Dang, God. I like as a little gut check. Hello. Oh, I love it though. I just love the inner knowing. I love the confirmation. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is going to pass. Absolutely. And this is why I do tarot. I showed up here just defeated, just super upset. One card and talking to you guys, vibing it out, whatever that looks like for you, because it looks different for everybody. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. It looks different for everybody. Okay. Not everybody looks the same. They do not. No one is supposed to. You are not supposed to be like anybody else. You are supposed to be you. You are supposed to be different. You have different DNA. You have different mannerisms. You have different attitudes. You have different strengths. You have different weaknesses. You go, right? You see those those I don't do yeah, I don't do those things, but yeah, that was funny like that. Got me on, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like I'm just like I don't do makeup anyhow. I mean, I do sometimes. I'm not very. I don't know. I think I'm not good at it, so I don't wear it very often. Plus, it gets it. makes my face itchy. Okay, lizard spirit. Protection message. Have you been, oh God, here's another one. Really? Okay. Have you been allowing your imagination to run amok and dream up a nightmare that seems to have come true? Fear not, for whatever dreaming you did in the past can change today as you dream anew. Wake up from the perception that everything is wrong, which is what I did today. I felt like I just woke up wrong. Lizard Spirit asks you to open your eyes and consciously dream a better dream. What would it look like to already have what you desire and be the one you wish to be? How might it feel to work toward co-creating this new dream as a reality in the world of the senses, drawing it out of the world of dreams and building it in the world of form? Trust in your ability to dream anew. Honor it today. And I know I can dream anew. I can dream and dream and dream and dream and dream and dream and dream. I believe it was like ruminating. Yeah, it was labeled. If it's a bad thing, it's called ruminating. If it's a good thing that you something you perceive as good, but it isn't actually true, but you really believe it, then it's called obsession. However, many people just call it faith, right? Okay. And 37, lion spirit has been on me. It's in the let go. It's processing its way through, right? Started in the first one, and the next day it was the second one, and now it's the third or something like that. I have to look. Um, and it's the one that I did with you guys. So if this isn't directed toward me, I just really resonate with a lot of it. And if it's for somebody else, then you're on your way. It is going through. The one thing I hate to see in a tarot is when I pull tarot and it's the same card in the same space every time, because that means that nothing's changing in your life. Like you're still trying to embrace this reality, you know, and then you still then have to go through accepting and then pushing it out into reality. You know what I mean? And yeah, and that is really so frustrating when you just see the card and it's just there. And it's like one time I pulled, like every day I pulled, and like there was just one same card in the same spot for like 4 days. And I was just like, I do not understand. Yeah, I do not understand. What am I not understanding? It's like I think I'm open, I think I'm doing, and sure enough, it was like this realization that like that I wasn't happy, that something needed to be different, that maybe it was like you're gay, or you're just tired of being abused and abandoned, or feel abused and abandoned. Because here's the thing, I promise you, I gave as good as I got. You know what I mean? So there isn't like oh, abuse, like, yeah, it was abusive, but there's no like one sided abuse. I mean, I could tell you where it started, but I can tell you how it started, like a shit show. You know what I mean? And it wasn't a fabulous one. It was just a show. It was just hard. My mom was dying. Um, I was not living at home because even though I asked for help over a dozen times from many family members to come and help me take care of my mom, no one stepped up. So essentially, it drove me crazy. And the only right way I could get help was to leave my house. So, and in doing that, I then, like, when I had that realization that as long as I kept holding down the fort, no one was going to show up. You know what I mean? So I didn't go out intentionally, but knowing that I was going to have to somehow get out of the middle of it, if I wanted help, I needed to get out of it because as long as I was holding it together, no one was showing up. Now, I had like my aunt was watching my kiddo once a day, once a week. You know what I mean? And then I had a lady coming and talking to my mom. And then in the end, people showed up and kicked me out of the house and essentially took over my life and told me I wasn't welcome in my own home the last weeks of my mom's passing until my Aunt Kathy was probably the one who was like, you guys are being unreasonable. And her mom is dying and she has every right to be here. And then they all left because I'm assuming they just didn't agree with that statement. So everyone bowed, well, if that's your choice, I'm not being a part of it. And they left. And thank you to my Aunt Kathy, who still talks to me today. And she's my Aunt Kathy because I said so, right? Technically, it would have been by marriage, aunt, but when people really authentically show up for you, you make them a part of your family. And no one was really caring how Venna was going to survive during that time. Everybody was cooking really good breakfasts, though, and scrambled eggs and living it up in my house and wearing my robe and using my computer and wearing my slippers and sleeping in my bed and opening the front door like, oh, you can't come in, but let me come out and talk to you. I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to come talk to you. Let me bring you out a cup of coffee. And I did appreciate that at the time. I really, really did. But how much does one really appreciate someone wearing their shit or using their coffee cup or their robe that their mom got them for their birthday? Essentially getting paid to take care of them while, fingers crossed, I hope your mom doesn't die next week because I've got bills to pay. Yeah, you know the fuck you are. Um, yeah, yeah. I've had a lot of stuff like stewing in here while I chose to heal and still be there for people that literally hit on my husband when we first met, talked shit about me when I went into the bathroom at Denny's that day, and invaded my privacy and essentially, like, you know, tried to move into my skin, so to speak, and call it a favor. Too bad none of you guys showed up when I was reaching out for help. Too bad none of you guys showed up before I had the meltdown, before I had to have a mental collapse, right? I mean, you all knew she was dying a year in advance. Why'd you only show up the last 3 weeks? Because Venna left. That's why. Because you guys all had other things to do and other worries. And that's valid. Everybody has their own stuff. But don't call yourself my family, right? Don't say you're my family and act that way to me because I don't forget things. Don't call me a liar when I come to you for help because you don't know what to do. Or God forbid, if you acknowledge it, then you might have to help. And how are you going to help when your husband comes in and yells at you every fucking weekend and steals your kids' money and beats the crap out of you? How are you going to help? Probably not. Probably not at all, right? Except for when we go shopping, then you're just an asshole all the time to me, even though all I did was follow you around the grocery store silently. You also knew who the fuck you are. So, wow, that came out of friggin' nowhere. My God. Do you doubt you can do much good? Are you stuck in a state of scarcity thinking? Are you, oh, who am I to lead? Or who am I to step into my dream? Who am I to have an amazing relationship? Who am I to think I can help? Lion Spirit is here to tell you that the antidote for low self esteem is stepping into a healthy pride, which means taking yourself out of all the people that weren't there for you and didn't authentically love you, but was just wanted a little something right in the end, maybe. Maybe you were just really mad you didn't get any inheritance because no one was around to help. So, kind of maybe if you would have taken more of an interest, you know, at all, at any time. Pretty sure a lot of you, I can count on one hand how many times I saw you, right? Yeah. Lion Spirit is here to tell you that the antidote for low self esteem is stepping into a healthy pride. Of course, you can do all the things you desire. The spark of great spirit lives inside you, and you are here to steward that amazing energy into the world. Lion Spirit knows that great spirit invested in you so that you might be a channel for spirit's love and generosity. Take pride in your role, seeking to bring an abundance of love into the world. Perhaps you do much good already, but you're feeling unappreciated, wanting to hold back your gifts and hoard them for yourself. I totally get that. But it wasn't really like I wasn't wanting to hoard them for myself. I was just kind of like, what if nobody likes me? Like the things that I do, like pictures and music and sing and dance and creativity and art and things like that. Those are all things that I didn't want to put out on other people's chopping blocks because I knew I wasn't sturdy enough in my beliefs or on my path, more like, to defend them. And I also didn't want to be talked out of it, you know? And unfortunately, you know, that's really easy in my life to just be like, oh yeah, I talk myself out of stuff all the time. All the time. Give freely without agenda or expectation. Let Lion Spirit remind you that in grieving you receive, then you will see that you are appreciated. Stop comparing yourself to others and seeing yourself as less than, for within you is a wellspring of generosity. Somewhere in here is generosity, guys, okay? It's chances are I'm probably going to end up deleting this. It'll stay on my YouTube though, probably. No, I'm not going to delete it. But because when somebody authentically speaks their truths, just because they're hard to hear doesn't make them a lie. Bye.